Welcome to the 247 Sports YouTube channel. I'm National Recruiting Editor Brandon Huffman, and in just a moment, we'll go to Sacramento, California for the announcement of one of the top defensive linemen on the West Coast, Josiah Sharma out of Folsom High School. Sharma is a 6'5", 295-pound defensive lineman who ranks as the number 41 player in the state of California and the number 42 defensive lineman nationally. We'll go here to Folsom High School, we'll go to Sacramento in just a second to see where Sharma's going, but he's down to 4 schools: Alabama, Texas, Oregon, and Washington. So now we head to Sacramento, where we're joined by Josiah, the guy they call Sugar Bear, Josiah Sharma. Josiah, thanks for joining us today.
Yes, sir. I appreciate being here.
All right, so we're in Sacramento, where you're from. Where are you at? Who's here today to celebrate this moment with you?
Well, right now I'm in the lab. Right now, this is a special place. I like to call it, one of my homes. It's called G6 Performance Training Arts. Is where I get my training at. Always getting better, always developing over here. And I'm thankful for this place. And I'm with my family right now. Got a lot of people over here.
What's up, man? So a lot of people want to be there with you today as you make this decision. Now, it's been quite the ride for you. On New Year's Day, you announced your commitment to the University of Washington just before the Sugar Bowl, where Washington and Texas played, 2 teams that are in your Final Four. And then Kalen DeBoer left Washington for Alabama, who's also in your Final Four. What was that like, making the commitment, thinking you were done, only to see a coaching change kind of throw that all to whack and have to kind of start over?
I mean, honestly, it was a really good opportunity for me. It gave me a chance to reestablish what I felt like I needed in a college. So, just seeing him leave just gave me a different mindset on a list for what I need in a college. So it was honestly a good change, honestly. But nothing stays the same.
You've been a great communicator, breaking it down to why these 4 schools made it into your Final Four, with Washington back in it, Texas, Alabama, and Oregon. But people tuned in to find out where you're going to announce. So before you make that announcement, I know you want to take the moment to thank all those special people that have been along this ride for you.
I do. I just like to thank my mom. She's always been there. I'd like to thank my grandma. She's always been there. A lot of things, it doesn't happen a lot where you get a grandma that's always been with you. So I'm really thankful for that. I like to thank every coach that has ever been with me. And then I like to thank just everyone who has been there. If I don't remember off the top of my head, everyone's special to me.
All right. Well, this is why everybody is tuned in. Josiah, Sugar Bear, tell us where you're going to play your college football.
Oh, man. I low-key didn't match my fit today. So I would like to announce that I'm heading to the University of. Hold on. So much suspense right now. One second, please. But like I was saying, I like to announce that I'm heading to the University of Oregon.
There it is, Josiah Sharma with a bit of a stunner going to the University of Oregon. Now, Josiah, things were trending towards Texas's way over the last few days, and it looked like you were going to end up playing in the SEC for the Horns, but at the end of the day, you decided to stay on the West Coast, and you announced for Oregon. Why the Ducks?
Well, honestly, I just feel like I could get the same development from somewhere close home, because I know that's going to affect me in the long run, being so far away from home. So if I could get that same development and get that same, Southern treatment from the West, I feel like I just should stay in the West. And, my mom always told me to follow my heart.
We saw you a couple of weeks ago up in the Northwest when you were up in town for the Avery Strong Showcase, and you had just taken that visit to Oregon for an unofficial, and they got you back for the official. What was it about Coach Lanning and Coach Lapoy and Coach Tuoti that were so crucial in you picking the Ducks?
Well, they all were originally worked with defensive linemen. They all focused defensive linemen, and then, just to give them all a separate opinion. I feel like Coach Lanning is a really young head coach. I can really relate to him, honestly, come in with from different perspectives. I could really relate to Coach Lanning, and I thought that was really good. Tosh, Tosh is a silly person. I'm not gonna hold you. But Tosh is a wonderful person. I feel like I really feel the love from him. I really feel like I'm gonna be taken care of over there. And then Coach Tony, he's a really calm person, but he shows me and he breaks it down what you need to do to get better necessarily. So that's what I love about all those coaches.
Last year, Oregon did a great job recruiting defensive linemen from out west with Aiden Breland and Elijah Rushing and Jericho Johnson. And Jericho was your host on the official visit. How important was that to have a guy not far from you, already at Oregon, that's playing the same position as you, that can kind of take you under his wing?
Honestly, I really felt like that was a really great opportunity to know somebody that's really around my area, so we could relate a lot. So I that was really special to me. That was really great.
All right. Well, the University of Oregon once again lands one of the premier defensive linemen in the country. The Ducks land Josiah Sharma over Alabama, Washington, and Texas. Josiah, flash the O on your way out. Congratulations on the commitment.
That's right. Go Ducks.
All right. There you have it. Dan Lanning, once again, building an SEC-style defense, even though they're headed to the Big Ten. And for more on what this commitment means to the Ducks, we bring in national recruiting analyst Greg Biggins. What's up, Greg?
Huff, how you doing? Good to see you.
Doing well. Good to see you, too. Yep. Obviously, we talked about the pickups last year of Aiden Breland and Elijah Rushing and Jericho Johnson, but they're not stopping. Oregon is continuing to do well on the defensive line. What kind of player is Oregon getting in Sharma?
He's a really intriguing guy. Huff, we saw him 2 years ago at the Las Vegas National Preps Camp as an offensive lineman, right? Working at a tackle and 6'5" and 295, 300 pounds, and moves really well, fluid athlete. Most of those offers obviously came in as a defensive lineman. And then you and me and Blair all saw him again at at the UA camp in Seattle playing on the D-line. Just a massive kid, naturally strong guy. Doesn't even know how strong he is yet, but, up to 335 pounds. I would actually like to see him maybe drop and lean out a little bit, but at 330, he moves really well, long arms, 80 plus wingspan, has the motor. I think he's still working on things like technique and counter moves, but to look at his natural frame, the way he moves around, the fluidity in his movement, the motor. I mean, he's got all the traits for me to be an NFL guy someday.
We talked about how Dan Lanning said when he got the job, he really wanted to build an SEC-style defense. If you look at the strengths of those Georgia defenses, it was up front on the defensive line. We know the West Coast doesn't have a plethora of defensive linemen like a lot of regions do, but after landing Breland and landing Rushing and Jericho Johnson a year ago, how crucial is it that the Ducks continue to kind of hoard those defensive linemen from the West?
Oregon's become a national brand. They've always been a national brand, but from a recruiting standpoint, they can go into California, Florida, Texas, Maine, South Dakota. I mean, name a state. Oregon is able to go in anywhere they want and get a guy from that state. This is a guy who, honestly, a couple of days ago, I think we thought Bama, and then 24 hours ago, we thought Texas. So you're beating out some serious heavyweights, not just Pac-12, former Pac-12 schools, your SCs, UCLA, Washington. They're going head-to-head with some true national heavyweight programs, and they're winning those battles. So Sharma, again, pains me to say as a West Coast guy, we don't get a ton of elite level D linemen, D tackles on the inside. Sharma is that guy. And so for Oregon to go in to Southern California, Northern California area and win those battles, I mean, it's huge for Lanning, huge for Tony, huge for Tosh. They're doing a phenomenal job recruiting the defensive line right now.
All right, there you have it. Greg Biggins, national recruiting analyst who's seen Sharma as much as anybody in the country. Great analysis. Thanks for joining us, Greg. And thank you for watching and tuning in as the Oregon Ducks go into Sacramento to land one of the best defensive linemen in the country in Josiah Sharma. Thanks for watching the 247 Sports YouTube channel. Plenty more commitments coming over the course of the next week. Make sure to tune in.